Fiction Journey to Self, a coming-of-age tale. Introduction. Journey to Self, a coming-of-age tale, invites readers into a profound exploration of growth and self-discovery. This compelling genre chronicles the transition from adolescence to adulthood, capturing the essence of personal transformation through a rich tapestry of experiences. A coming-of-age story delves into the protagonist's journey as they navigate the complexities of identity, face trials, and evolve emotionally and psychologically. The quest for self-understanding and maturity is not just a physical journey, but a deep, introspective adventure. Themes of identity, growth, and self-discovery are central to this narrative. As the protagonist wrestles with their sense of self and societal expectations, they embark on a path of profound change. Each challenge and triumph shapes their understanding of who they are and who they aspire to become. Journey to Self resonates with readers by reflecting the universal experiences of growing up. It captures the struggles and triumphs of adolescence, offering valuable insights into the transformative power of self-discovery and the journey toward maturity. Through this story, readers will find an inspiring portrayal of the quest for identity and the enduring human spirit. Chapter 1. The Ordinary World. Lily Harper walked down the cobbled streets of Ravenwood, her sneakers scuffing against the uneven stones. The town seemed to exhale a quiet, steady rhythm, a comforting, predictable lullaby that she had grown accustomed to over the years. The early morning sun cast long shadows and the air was crisp with the promise of autumn. The leaves crunched underfoot, painting the ground in hues of gold and crimson. Ravenwood was a small town that prided itself on its simplicity. Nestled in the embrace of towering mountains, the town was a picturesque portrait of tranquility, with its quaint shops and historic homes lined with manicured gardens. The old-fashioned charm of the place was both its greatest strength and its most significant limitation. In Ravenwood, secrets were hard to keep, and adventures seemed as distant as the peaks that loomed over the town. Lily's daily routine was a well-oiled machine, running with the precision of a clockwork. Each morning she would wake up to the sound of her mother's alarm clock blaring from the kitchen. Her mother, Margaret Harper, worked long hours at the local hospital, leaving Lily to navigate her day largely on her own. Margaret's face was etched with lines of exhaustion, but her smile was a constant, one that Lily cherished despite the strain it often masked. As she made her way to school, Lily passed by the old church on the corner. Its steeple pierced the sky, a silent sentinel over the town. The church had always intrigued Lily with its weathered stone and ivy-clad walls, whispering secrets of a bygone era. She felt a shiver whenever she walked past it, as if the shadows within held more than just dust and forgotten memories.
School was a landscape of its own, a battleground of social hierarchies and academic pressures. Lily was neither a star nor a pariah. She was a quiet observer of the social scene, content to stay on the periphery. Her grades were good, her teachers liked her, but she moved through the halls with a sense of detachment. She had friends, of course. Sam was her closest ally. They had been inseparable since kindergarten, their bond strengthened by shared experiences and mutual understanding. Sam was everything Lily was not: outgoing, vivacious, and endlessly curious. In the classroom, Lily's mind often wandered beyond the walls of Ravenwood High. She would stare out the window, watching the trees sway in the breeze, and daydream of far-off places and grand adventures. Her teachers admired her for her intellect and her curiosity, but Lily felt stifled by the confines of her small town. She longed for something beyond the predictable routines and familiar faces. Her afternoons were spent at home, helping her mother with chores or studying for her next exam. The house was modest but filled with the warmth of her mother's efforts. Photographs of her father, who had disappeared years before, were scattered around the house, silent reminders of a past Lily never fully understood. The absence of her father was a void that neither she nor her mother could fully fill or articulate. Despite the comfort of her predictable life, Lily often felt a restlessness gnawing at her. The world outside Ravenwood seemed to beckon with an allure she couldn't quite define. It was a sense of yearning for something more, something beyond the mundane and the familiar. This restlessness was the seed of the journey that was about to unfold. As evening approached, Lily walked to the local diner, where she met Sam. They sat in their usual booth, their conversation flowing effortlessly between the mundane and the imaginative. Sam was animated, recounting a wild theory about the mysterious disappearances rumored to have occurred in the forest surrounding Ravenwood. Lily listened, intrigued but skeptical. The forest had always been a place of both fascination and fear for her, a boundary that she had never crossed. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the town. Lily and Sam said their goodbyes, and Lily made her way home, her mind swirling with thoughts of the unknown. As she lay in bed that night, the shadows in her room seemed to grow longer, and the silence of the house felt heavier. The familiar comfort of her ordinary world was tinged with a sense of anticipation, as if the very air was holding its breath, waiting for something to change. In the quiet darkness, Lily closed her eyes, feeling the weight of the ordinary world around her. Little did she know, her life was on the verge of an extraordinary transformation, one that would shatter the predictability of her existence and propel her into the heart of the unknown. This excerpt provides a detailed glimpse into Lily's life and the setting of Ravenwood, laying the groundwork for the changes that will come as the story progresses.
Chapter 2. The Call to Adventure. The morning light filtered through the dusty window panes of Lily Harper's attic, casting an ethereal glow over the forgotten relics of her family's past. Lily had always avoided the attic, viewing it as a repository of old, unwanted things. But today, a surge of curiosity had driven her to explore the cluttered space, searching for something, anything, that might break the monotony of her everyday life. Dust motes danced in the slanting beams of sunlight as Lily carefully navigated through stacks of old boxes and trunks. The smell of musty paper and aged wood filled the air, mingling with the faint scent of lavender from an old sachet she had found earlier. She moved with cautious reverence, as if the very act of disturbing the dust might awaken something long forgotten. Her eyes fell upon an old trunk, its surface covered in faded travel stickers and worn leather. The trunk had been hidden behind a tattered curtain, almost as if it had been deliberately set aside. Lily's heart quickened with a mix of excitement and trepidation as she approached it. With a deep breath, she unlatched the trunk and lifted the lid, revealing a jumble of old clothing, yellowed photographs, and brittle papers. At the top of the pile was a small, leather-bound journal. Its cover was embossed with an intricate design that Lily couldn't quite make out. She hesitated for a moment, then gently brushed the dust off the cover and opened the journal. The pages were filled with neat, looping handwriting, entries that seemed to spill out secrets from a time long past. As Lily read through the entries, she discovered that the journal belonged to her late father. The revelations within were both captivating and unsettling. The journal detailed her father's fascination with the mysterious forest surrounding Ravenwood, a place he described with a mixture of reverence and fear. It spoke of a hidden path that led to a place he called the Clearing, a mystical site said to grant visions of the future to those who ventured there. The more Lily read, the more she felt a pull, a calling to uncover the truth behind the stories her father had chronicled. The journal described an encounter with a mysterious figure who had warned of the dangers of the clearing and hinted at a secret that had driven her father to disappear. Lily's curiosity was piqued, and a sense of urgency grew within her. The mundane world she had always known suddenly seemed distant and irrelevant. Determined to learn more, Lily sought out Sam, her ever-loyal friend. They met at their usual spot, the old swing set in the park, where they had spent countless hours talking about everything and nothing. Sam noticed the excited gleam in Lily's eyes and listened intently as she recounted her discovery. "You've got to be kidding me," Sam said, incredulity etched in his voice. "Are you telling me you want to go searching for some mythical place in the woods?" Lily nodded vigorously. "I know it sounds crazy, but something about it feels important. Like I meant to find out what happened. Sam frowned, clearly conflicted. Okay, but this isn't just some adventure. If what's in that journal is true, it could be dangerous. We don't know what we're getting into. Despite Sam's reservations, Lily's determination was infectious. Together, they began to prepare for their exploration. They spent hours poring over maps of the forest, noting landmarks mentioned in the journal, and gathering supplies, flashlights, snacks, and a first aid kit. The forest, which had once seemed like an intimidating, untamed wilderness, now appeared as a challenge to be conquered, a puzzle waiting to be solved. As the days passed, the anticipation grew. Lily found it impossible to focus on her schoolwork, her thoughts constantly drifting to the mystery of the clearing. The normalcy of her life felt increasingly stifling compared to the thrilling possibility of discovery that lay ahead. The routine conversations with her mother and the familiar faces at school seemed like a distant echo, overshadowed by the promise of adventure. One crisp autumn evening, Lily and Sam stood at the edge of the forest, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The trees loomed tall and silent, their branches casting long shadows across the path. The setting sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, creating a dramatic backdrop for their imminent journey. "Are you ready?" Sam asked, his voice tinged with both nervousness and resolve. Lily took a deep breath, her eyes fixed on the darkening woods. "I think so. This is our chance to uncover something real, something that could change everything." With that, they stepped into the forest, the sounds of the town fading behind them. The air was cool and fragrant with the scent of pine, and the ground beneath their feet was soft and yielding. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the familiar world of Ravenwood seemed to recede, replaced by the unknown. Their path was lit only by the dim beam of their flashlights, and the forest seemed to close in around them. Every rustle of leaves and snap of a twig heightened their senses, making them acutely aware of the mysteries hidden in the darkness. As the evening deepened, Lily and Sam followed the directions from the journal, their excitement tempered by a growing sense of unease. The forest, once a source of childhood wonder, now seemed vast and intimidating, a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. In the heart of the forest, Lily could feel the weight of her father's legacy pressing down on her. The call to adventure was no longer just a whisper, it was a resounding echo that guided their steps. They were on the brink of uncovering something profound, something that had been waiting for them in the depths of the clearing. The journey had just begun, and Lily knew that the path ahead would test her in ways she couldn't yet imagine. But as she walked beside Sam, a spark of hope and determination burned brightly within her, illuminating the way forward into the unknown. Chapter 3. The First Steps. The sun was barely above the horizon as Lily Harper and Sam stood at the edge of the forest, the early morning chill biting at their cheeks. The forest loomed before them, a vast expanse of green and shadow that seemed to breathe with a life of its own. The path they were about to take was marked only by the faintest of trails, obscured by overgrown ferns and tangled vines. The thrill of the unknown mingled with the apprehension of their venture, creating a heady mix of excitement and nerves. Lily adjusted the straps of her backpack, the weight of their supplies feeling reassuringly solid against her back. The leather-bound journal, now carefully wrapped in a plastic cover to protect it from the elements, was nestled securely inside. She glanced at Sam, who was peering at the forest with a blend of trepidation and determination. Sam's usual bravado was tempered by the gravity of their mission, his usual jokes replaced by a solemn focus. "Ready?" Lily asked, her voice carrying an edge of resolve despite the flutter of nerves in her stomach. Sam nodded, his expression set. "As ready as I'll ever be. Let's do this." With a deep breath, Lily led the way, stepping onto the narrow trail that wound into the forest. The path was less defined than she had anticipated, with the undergrowth encroaching on either side. Each step forward seemed to push them further from the safety of the known world and deeper into the embrace of the wilderness. The forest was a symphony of sounds, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. The sunlight filtered through the canopy in dappled patches, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The air was filled with the earthy scent of moss and decomposing leaves, a smell that was both fresh and damp. As they progressed, Lily consulted the journal frequently, using its notes to navigate through the dense foliage. The journal described various landmarks: a twisted oak tree with a gnarled trunk, a stream with clear, sparkling water, each serving as a guidepost along their journey. Lily's heart raced with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety as they searched for these markers. "According to this," Lily said, holding up the journal, "we should be looking for a clearing up ahead. It should be marked by a large rock formation." Sam scanned the surroundings, his eyes darting from tree to tree. "I see a big rock over there. Could that be it?" Lily squinted into the distance and saw the rock formation Sam had pointed out. It was a cluster of boulders, weathered and worn, rising out of the underbrush like silent sentinels. They made their way toward the formation, their progress slow as they navigated around thorny bushes and slippery roots.
When they reached the rock formation, Lily felt a surge of accomplishment. The formation was exactly as described in the journal, and it seemed to stand as a marker of their progress. She paused to take a breath, letting the sense of achievement settle over her. "We're on the right track," Lily said, her voice tinged with relief. "Let's keep going." As they continued deeper into the forest, the path became more challenging. The terrain was uneven with steep inclines and sudden drops. Lily's legs began to ache from the exertion and sweat trickled down her back. Sam, too, was visibly tired, but his determination never wavered. They encouraged each other with small words of reassurance, pushing through the physical discomfort and mental fatigue. The forest seemed to close in around them, the trees growing denser and the shadows deeper. The sunlight filtered through the canopy in slender beams, creating an eerie, almost magical atmosphere. Every now and then, Lily would catch a glimpse of something unusual, a flash of color, a strange shape. But each time it turned out to be a trick of the light or a mere figment of her imagination. After several hours of trekking, Lily and Sam reached a small clearing. It was a serene spot, bathed in the soft glow of the afternoon sun. Wildflowers grew in abundance, their colors vibrant against the green backdrop. The air was filled with the gentle hum of insects and the distant murmur of a stream. Lily felt a profound sense of relief as they stepped into the clearing. They had successfully navigated the forest and found this hidden oasis. The journal had mentioned a place like this, a tranquil spot where the veil between the known and the unknown was thin. "This must be it," Lily said, her voice filled with awe. "The clearing." They set up their camp in the clearing, their movements careful and deliberate. Lily spread out a blanket on the grass, and Sam unpacked their supplies. They sat in silence for a moment, taking in the beauty of their surroundings and the magnitude of their accomplishment. The clearing was a place of quiet contemplation, a sanctuary that offered a moment of respite from their journey. Lily felt a deep sense of connection to the place, as if it were a bridge between her ordinary world and the extraordinary adventure that lay ahead. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the clearing, Lily and Sam sat together, their thoughts drifting to the next stage of their journey. The first steps had been challenging, but they had proven to themselves that they were capable of facing the unknown. The path ahead was still shrouded in mystery, but they were ready to embrace it. In the fading light, Lily looked at Sam and smiled. "We've come this far. Whatever happens next, we'll face it together." Sam returned the smile, his eyes reflecting the same determination that Lily felt. "Absolutely. Let's see where this path takes us." As darkness settled over the forest, Lily and Sam prepared for the night, their hearts filled with anticipation for the adventures that awaited them. The clearing was only the beginning, and their journey was just beginning to unfold. Chapter 4. The Trials. The early morning light filtered through the dense canopy of the forest, casting a gentle glow over Lily and Sam as they woke in the clearing. The previous day's excitement had given way to the quiet stillness of the forest, and the challenges of their journey now loomed ahead. The clearing, with its serene beauty, was a temporary respite before the trials they knew were coming. As they packed their supplies and prepared to continue, Lily unfolded the journal, searching for clues about the trials mentioned within its pages. The entries were cryptic, but hinted at tests that would challenge their resolve and ingenuity. Each trial was said to reveal more about the true nature of the clearing and its secrets. "We need to stay focused," Lily said, her voice steady, despite the flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. The journal mentioned 3 trials. "We have to be ready for anything." Sam nodded, his expression serious. "Let's get moving. The sooner we start, the sooner we'll find out what's in store for us." With their gear packed and their spirits high, Lily and Sam set off into the forest once more. The path was less distinct now, winding through a labyrinth of trees and underbrush. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine, and the sounds of the forest seemed to grow louder, more insistent. The first trial came sooner than expected. As they navigated a narrow path between towering trees, they stumbled upon a series of wooden planks stretched across a deep ravine. The planks were old and weathered, some of them missing or unstable. The ravine was wide and filled with jagged rocks below, creating a daunting obstacle. Lily took a deep breath, surveying the precarious crossing. "Looks like we need to get across this ravine. Any ideas?" Sam examined the planks, his eyes scanning for a safe route. "We'll have to be careful. Let's test each plank before we step on it. We can use the ropes we brought to secure ourselves if needed." With a cautious approach, they began to cross the ravine. Each step was measured and deliberate, their focus solely on the task at hand. The planks creaked under their weight, and Lily's heart raced as she carefully placed one foot in front of the other. Sam moved steadily beside her, his movements calculated and precise. Halfway across, a plank gave way, causing Lily to stumble. She grabbed onto the rope, her heart pounding as she steadied herself. Sam quickly reached out, pulling her back onto solid ground. They both took a moment to regain their composure, their nerves taut from the close call. "That was too close," Lily said, her voice shaking slightly. "We're almost there," Sam replied, his tone reassuring. "Just a few more steps." With renewed determination, they completed the crossing, reaching the far side of the ravine. The sense of relief was palpable, but they knew they couldn't let their guard down. The forest still held more challenges. The second trial presented itself as they continued along the trail. They entered a dense thicket where the path was obscured by thick vines and tangled branches. The journal had warned of a trial involving a maze, and the overgrown area seemed to fit the description. "This looks like it could be the maze," Lily said, her eyes scanning the tangled vegetation. "We need to find a way through." Sam pulled out a machete, carefully cutting through the vines to clear a path. The progress was slow, and the air was heavy with the scent of damp vegetation. Each step forward seemed to bring more obstacles, with the vines intertwining and creating a labyrinth of green. Lily kept close to Sam, her eyes alert for any signs of a way through. The maze seemed to shift and change, with paths leading to dead ends and circles that brought them back to where they started. Frustration mounted, but they persevered, guided by the journal's cryptic hints. After what felt like hours, they finally emerged from the maze, their clothes covered in dirt and their spirits worn but triumphant. The forest opened up into a clearing, a sign that they had successfully navigated the trial. "Good work," Sam said, wiping sweat from his brow. "Let's take a quick break before we move on." They rested for a few moments, taking in the sights and sounds of the new clearing. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting for them to face the final trial. As they resumed their journey, the third trial loomed ahead. The forest grew darker, the trees pressing in on them as they approached a large, shadowy cavern. The entrance was partially obscured by overhanging rocks and a curtain of vines. The journal had described this trial as one involving darkness and fear. Lily and Sam exchanged a glance, their expressions reflecting a mix of apprehension and resolve. They lit their flashlights, the beams cutting through the thick darkness of the cavern. The walls of the cavern glistened with moisture, and the air was cool and damp. The cavern was vast, with echoes of their footsteps reverberating through the space. As they ventured deeper, the floor became uneven, with hidden pitfalls and slippery stones. The darkness was almost tangible, pressing in on them from all sides. At one point, Lily stumbled into a hidden pit, but Sam's quick reflexes saved her from a dangerous fall. They helped each other navigate the treacherous terrain, their focus and teamwork proving crucial in overcoming the final trial. After what seemed like an eternity, they reached the end of the cavern, where a narrow beam of light pierced the darkness, illuminating a small, ancient pedestal. On the pedestal lay a crystal, glowing softly with an inner light. "This must be the heart of the trial," Lily said, her voice filled with awe. Sam nodded, his expression one of amazement. "We did it. We faced the trials and come out on the other side." As they reached out to take the crystal, the cavern seemed to exhale a sigh of relief, the oppressive darkness lifting. The trials had tested their courage, ingenuity, and endurance, but they had emerged victorious. With the crystal in hand, Lily and Sam made their way back to the surface, their spirits high and their bonds stronger than ever. The trials had been formidable, but they had proven their strength and resilience. The path ahead was still uncertain, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay in wait. As they emerged from the forest and the sunlight bathed them in its warmth, Lily and Sam knew that the journey was far from over. The trials had only been the beginning, and their adventure was just beginning to unfold. Chapter 5. The Turning Point. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden hue across the landscape as Lily and Sam emerged from the forest. They had traversed the trials and faced their fears, but little did they know that their adventure was about to take a dramatic turn. The turning point was fast approaching, a moment that would shift the course of their journey and challenge everything they thought they knew. The path led them to a small, isolated village nestled in a valley. The village was quaint and picturesque, with cobblestone streets and charming cottages adorned with flowers. It seemed almost too perfect, like a scene from a storybook. Lily and Sam exchanged curious glances, their earlier sense of triumph overshadowed by a growing sense of unease. "We should check this place out," Lily said, her voice laced with curiosity. "It's not on the map, but it might be worth exploring." As they entered the village, they were greeted by friendly, if somewhat reserved, villagers. The people went about their daily routines with a sense of quiet efficiency, their eyes lingering on Lily and Sam with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. The village felt isolated from the world outside, its atmosphere both welcoming and unsettling. They wandered through the village, taking in the sights and sounds. The air was filled with the aroma of fresh bread and blooming flowers, and the streets were lined with colorful banners and handmade crafts. Despite the outward charm, there was an undercurrent of tension that Lily couldn't quite place. Their exploration led them to the village square, where a large, ornate fountain stood in the center. The fountain was intricately carved, its water sparkling in the sunlight. A group of villagers had gathered around the fountain, engaged in a heated discussion. Lily and Sam approached, hoping to learn more about the village and its secrets. As they drew closer, the villagers fell silent, their eyes fixed on the newcomers. The village elder, an elderly woman with a stern expression, stepped forward. Her gaze was sharp, and her demeanor commanded respect. "Welcome to our village," the elder said, her voice steady. "I am Eldora. What brings you here?" Lily and Sam introduced themselves, explaining their journey and their discovery of the village. Eldora listened attentively, her expression unreadable. "You have arrived at a significant time," Eldora said, her tone carrying a note of foreboding. "Our village is facing a crisis, and your arrival may be more than mere coincidence." Lily and Sam exchanged puzzled looks. "What kind of crisis?" Sam asked. Eldora hesitated before speaking. "Our village is bound by an ancient pact, a promise made long ago to protect a powerful artifact hidden within these lands. Recently we have sensed a disturbance, a threat that endangers not only our village, but the entire realm." Lily's heart raced. The mention of a powerful artifact resonated with the cryptic references in the journal. "What can we do to help?" she asked. Eldora's gaze softened. "There is a prophecy that speaks of outsiders who will come in our time of need. It is said that they will play a crucial role in defending the artifact and restoring balance." Lily and Sam felt a sense of responsibility settle over them. They had come this far, faced numerous trials, and now they were being called upon to protect something of great importance. Eldora led them to a hidden chamber beneath the village. The chamber was ancient and filled with relics from a bygone era. At its center stood a pedestal, upon which rested a crystal orb, glowing with an otherworldly light. The orb seemed to pulse with energy, casting eerie shadows on the walls. "This is the artifact," Eldora said. "It holds the power to maintain harmony in our world, but dark forces have been awakened, and we fear that they seek to claim it for themselves." Lily approached the orb, feeling its power resonate with her own. The crystal seemed to beckon, its light intensifying as she drew closer. The weight of their responsibility became even more palpable. "What do we need to do?" Lily asked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "The prophecy speaks of a trial that will test your resolve," Eldora explained. "You must journey to the heart of the forest where you will face your greatest challenge. Only by overcoming this trial will you be able to protect the artifact and restore balance." Lily and Sam nodded, their determination unwavering. They knew that this was a turning point in their journey, a moment that would define their path and test their courage in ways they had never imagined. As they prepared to leave the village and embark on their new quest, Lily felt a renewed sense of purpose. The turning point had arrived, and with it came the promise of a new adventure, one that would push them to their limits and reveal the true strength of their resolve. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the village as Lily and Sam set out toward the heart of the forest. Their hearts were filled with anticipation and a sense of destiny, knowing that the challenges ahead would be unlike anything they had faced before. The turning point marked the beginning of a new chapter in their journey, one that would test their limits and shape their fate. Chapter 6. The Climax. The heart of the forest was a place of mystery and ancient power, and as Lily and Sam approached, the dense foliage began to clear, revealing a sprawling glade bathed in an ethereal light. The air was charged with a palpable energy, and the atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. They had traversed the trials, confronted their fears, and now stood at the brink of the ultimate challenge. At the center of the glade was a massive stone altar, overgrown with vines and adorned with intricate carvings. The altar seemed to hum with a deep, resonant power, its surface covered in ancient runes that glowed faintly in the twilight. The artifact, the crystal orb, was to be placed here, and Lily and Sam could feel its presence calling to them. Lily and Sam exchanged determined looks as they approached the altar. The orb, securely wrapped in cloth, was their responsibility, and they knew the stakes were higher than ever. The journal's prophecy had spoken of a climactic confrontation, a moment when their true strength and courage would be tested. As they neared the altar, the ground trembled slightly, and a deep, rumbling growl echoed through the glade. From the shadows emerged a dark, menacing figure, an entity of swirling darkness and malevolent energy. Its form was shifting and amorphous, a being born of shadow and fear. The entity's eyes glowed with a fierce, unnatural light, and its presence exuded an aura of ominous power. "This must be the darkness the prophecy spoke of," Lily said, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. The entity advanced, its form coalescing into a more defined shape. It seemed to draw strength from the very shadows around them, its power intensifying with each passing moment. Lily and Sam positioned themselves on either side of the altar, preparing for the confrontation. With a commanding voice, the entity spoke. "You dare to challenge me, guardians of the orb. You are but mortals, and I am eternal darkness. Surrender the artifact and accept your fate." Lily tightened her grip on the orb, her eyes narrowing with resolve. "We won't let you take it. The orb's power is meant to protect, not to be wielded for destruction." The entity's form shifted violently, and with a roar of fury, it lunged toward them. Lily and Sam sprang into action, their movements a blur of practiced coordination. They dodged the entity's attacks, their efforts focused on buying time and keeping the orb safe. Sam wielded a staff, striking at the entity with precision. Each blow seemed to be absorbed by the darkness, but it also forced the entity to retreat momentarily. Lily, meanwhile, channeled her energy into creating a protective shield around the orb. The shield shimmered with a brilliant light, pushing back the encroaching darkness and momentarily disrupting the entity's advance. The battle raged on, the glade a chaotic whirlwind of light and shadow. Lily and Sam worked in tandem, their movements synchronized as they fought to protect the orb and drive back the darkness. The entity's attacks grew more frenzied, its malevolent energy surging with each failed attempt to seize the artifact. As the confrontation reached its zenith, Lily saw a flicker of vulnerability in the entity's form. The darkness was being pushed back, its power waning in the face of their determined resistance. With a final, desperate effort, Lily and Sam combined their strengths, channeling their energy into a powerful surge of light. The light from the orb intensified, merging with the protective shield Lily had created. The combined force of their power surged toward the entity, enveloping it in a blinding radiance. The darkness writhed and shrieked as it was consumed by the light, its form disintegrating into wisps of shadow that dissipated into the air. The glade fell silent, the oppressive weight of the entity's presence lifting as it was vanquished. Lily and Sam stood panting, their bodies exhausted but their spirits triumphant. The orb, now glowing with a steady, comforting light, rested safely on the altar. The heart of the forest seemed to exhale a sigh of relief, the energy of the glade shifting to a more tranquil state. The ancient runes on the altar glowed warmly, and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of calm and resolution. "We did it," Sam said, his voice filled with awe and relief. Lily nodded, her gaze fixed on the orb. "We faced the darkness and protected the artifact. The prophecy was fulfilled." As they stood in the aftermath of the climactic battle, Lily and Sam felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The trials had tested their courage and the climax had pushed them to their limits, but they had emerged victorious. The artifact was safe, and the balance had been restored. With the heart of the forest's power now subdued, Lily and Sam prepared to return to the village. Their journey was far from over, but the victory they had achieved marked a turning point in their adventure. The path ahead was still uncertain, but they were ready to face whatever challenges awaited them, knowing that they had proven their strength and resilience in the face of the ultimate test. Chapter 7. The Aftermath. The dawn broke over the heart of the forest, casting a soft golden light across the glade. The once challenging terrain now seemed peaceful, with the ominous presence of the darkness vanquished. Lily and Sam stood by the altar, their bodies weary, but their hearts filled with a profound sense of accomplishment. As they gathered their gear and prepared to leave the glade, the atmosphere felt lighter, as if the very forest was celebrating their victory. The orb, now resting on the pedestal, emitted a steady, reassuring glow. The power that had once threatened to consume everything now radiated a sense of calm and balance. The journey back to the village was quieter than before. Lily and Sam walked side by side, their conversation subdued as they reflected on the events that had transpired. The forest, once filled with tension and danger, now seemed like a sanctuary, its beauty undiminished by the recent conflict. Upon their arrival in the village, they were met with a warm and relieved reception. The villagers gathered in the square, their faces reflecting a mixture of gratitude and joy. Eldora, the village elder, approached them with a look of profound respect. "You have succeeded beyond our expectations," Eldora said, her voice filled with genuine appreciation. "The balance has been restored, and the artifact is safe. You have proven yourselves as true protectors." Lily and Sam exchanged smiles, their exhaustion momentarily forgotten in the face of the villagers' gratitude. "It was a difficult journey," Lily replied, "but we couldn't have done it without your guidance and the strength we found within ourselves."
The villagers held a celebration in their honor, a feast held in the village square. The air was filled with the aroma of delicious foods, the sounds of laughter, and the music of local instruments. The festivities were a testament to the resilience and unity of the village, and Lily and Sam were honored guests, celebrated for their bravery and determination. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Lily and Sam took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had faced immense challenges, but their experiences had forged a strong bond between them. The trials had tested their limits, and the climax had proven their courage, but it was the aftermath that allowed them to savor the fruits of their labor. Eldora joined them by the edge of the village, her gaze thoughtful. "The forest and our village will forever remember your deeds. The artifact will continue to protect us, and the darkness has been kept at bay. You have not only fulfilled the prophecy, but have also restored hope." Lily nodded, her heart swelling with pride. "We're grateful for the opportunity to have helped. This journey has taught us so much about ourselves and each other." As the night wore on and the celebration continued, Lily and Sam took a quiet walk through the village. The stars above seemed to shine more brightly, their light reflecting the sense of peace that now enveloped the land. The aftermath of their adventure was a time of reflection and rest. The challenges they had faced were behind them, and the future seemed full of possibilities. The village had been saved, and the artifact was secure, but the journey had changed them in ways they had yet to fully understand. With their hearts full and their spirits high, Lily and Sam prepared to say their goodbyes. They had found more than just the strength to overcome the trials. They had discovered the true meaning of courage, friendship, and sacrifice. As they departed from the village, the forest seemed to bid them farewell, its trees whispering with the wind. The path ahead was open, and the world was full of new adventures and possibilities. Lily and Sam walked side by side, ready to face whatever came next, knowing that they had emerged from their journey stronger and more united than ever before. Conclusion. The journey of Lily and Sam through the heart of the forest was more than a mere adventure. It was a profound exploration of courage, growth, and the transformative power of facing one's deepest fears. Their quest began with the ordinary world, where they lived ordinary lives and evolved through trials that tested their resolve and strength. The turning point revealed the weight of their responsibility, and the climax was a test of their ultimate bravery and resilience. The aftermath brought a sense of peace and reflection, allowing them to appreciate the fruits of their labor and the impact of their actions. In the end, Lily and Sam's story is a testament to the enduring human spirit and the profound impact of embarking on a journey of self-discovery and heroism. Their adventure highlighted the importance of perseverance, the strength found in unity, and the power of facing challenges head-on. Through their trials and triumphs, they discovered not only the importance of protecting what is valuable, but also the strength that lies within when one is driven by purpose and compassion. As they moved forward from their extraordinary experience, Lily and Sam carried with them the lessons learned and the friendships forged along the way. Their story serves as an inspiration to others, reminding us all that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit can rise to meet the challenge and emerge stronger than before. The legacy of their adventure will endure in the memories of those they helped and the harmony they restored. Lily and Sam's journey underscores the timeless truth that while the path may be fraught with obstacles, the rewards of courage and integrity far outweigh the hardships endured. As they continue their lives, their story will forever be a beacon of hope, reminding us all that we have the power to shape our destinies and make a difference in the world.